chocolate lines up planetarily with the sun.
Alright, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? First part of the video is utter spewing shit. Chocolate does not line up with the sun. And if it did on some weird, esoteric level, let's be honest, this is the last motherfucker that will ever be able to figure that out.
Native Americans were deer eaters, not cow eaters.
That is absolutely correct, David. Native Americans did eat deer. Actually, they ate anything that was free and accessible on the land. Deer, buffalo, rabbit, and bison. But I got a feeling you're trying to wiggle yourself into something else here. Let's see where you take this one.
They had a completely different consciousness. Deer eaters have a different consciousness than a cow eater.
You've got to fucking be kidding me. The fact that you're even stating that in front of a group of people and no one's calling bullshit is bullshit. What, you think you got a direct fucking link to Christian now?
A deer eater is actually more into consciousness in the stars and the heavens, more in the ethereal realms. A cow eater is like, we're here.
It's obvious that this guy believes his own bullshit at this point, because what he said doesn't even fucking exist. It's impossible to perform such a test, and yet he speaks of it as if it's mere fact. At this point, I've got no doubt in my mind that this guy can convince himself that he could translate a fart.
And that smoothie is so filled with superfoods, is so charged, so powerful, that it actually will power you up indefinitely if you need it.
Alright, David Wolfe just stated that he can create a smoothie with indefinite energy. Unfucking believable. We can't even perform that feat technologically this day and age, and he's gonna whip it up in a fucking blender.
Mushroom spores have been found at every altitude of the Earth. Right up into the troposphere, right in the ionosphere, stratosphere, everywhere. Every single height has been found mushroom spores, because they can levitate off the planet.
This guy's lost his fucking mind. Spores do not levitate. Spores are so light and so small they get picked up by wind currents, and that wind current takes it into a place like the stratosphere. But let me put it into perspective. It's no different than me taking a shit drying up, turning to dust, getting picked up by a wind current, taking it into the stratosphere, where my shit would then reside next to the spore of a mushroom. Because
they're surrounded by a shell of Ormus, which actually is trying to get to the center of the sun. Occasionally, it gets slingshotted right off the center of the sun and gets propelled out into the atmosphere, into the solar system, and then eventually gets slingshotted out across the galaxy.
Another great example of the craziness of this David Wolfe character. He's convinced himself that not only does the spore of a mushroom levitate, but it is also slingshotted around the sun and ejected into the galaxy. I'd like to know who performed that test. I'd like to know who followed that fucking spore.
I like Yukon root syrup because it's got everything we want. It's sweet to the taste, but it doesn't cause candida, and it doesn't cause things like the C word, to get worse. You ever seen the C on the rock that supposedly was on the moon on that one picture and it had a C on it? That's the kind of C we're talking about here.
I can't fucking believe the shit that comes out of this guy's mouth. It should be illegal. Look at that look on his face. What C word are you talking about, David? Or did we just go into a fucking game of charades?
Where do you want dates?
Dates? I've seen people get into trouble with dates.
You've got a fucking problem with dates now. I'll tell you why. Because someone else owns that fucking market share, not you. Instead you push cacao. And the harmful side effects of cacao 100 times fold in comparison to a date even on its worst day. Fucking hypocrite.
A lot of kinds. Meaning sugared out. You get like up and down, start flipping out.
Congratulations, David. You just explained the side effects of cacao, not dates.
And then if you're going to have any sweetener, it's probably a good idea to have the best sweetener ever, and that is honey. That's, honey is it.